love the responsibility that I'm given to work with families and to work with students and to work with staff.
You just couldn't find a more rewarding job.
I think education just has a lifelong impact on everyone. It can be the economic driver of a community. It can be the difference between a student and how they end up in life.
The power that an educator has to change the life of a child is incredible.
Welcome to the State of the Schools and Public Focus Group for Fargo Public Schools. I'm Rupak Gandhi, the Superintendent for Fargo Public Schools. Normally, this event is conducted in one of our schools. However, like many other things this year, COVID-19 has posed many challenges, so we appreciate you taking the time to reimagine this event in a virtual atmosphere. The 2020-2021 school year has differed from previous years. Our days include more hand sanitizing, wearing masks, and following other mitigation strategies to ensure that we can provide a safe learning environment during the COVID-19 challenge for all of our students and staff. This year, we have educated students with an in-person learning model, a hybrid learning model, and a distance learning model. I'm deeply proud of all of the work our staff have done to ensure they can provide a safe learning environment for all of our students. Though our learning models may have changed, one thing remains the same. That is a commitment of Fargo Public Schools staff to ensure our mission of educating and empowering all students to succeed, and doing whatever it takes to make sure we meet our mission. Nutrition Services quickly adapted to supply students with nutritious meals, no matter their educational setting. The team has creative new dishes that function well both in the cafeteria and take-home meal formats. Fargo Public Schools is also pleased to serve all students with free meals this year, thanks to USDA funding. Information Technology Services have played vital roles in ensuring students can learn in any setting. All Fargo Public Schools students now have their own personal learning devices. Internet access is also available to all families in need in their homes. The safety of students and staff members is at the forefront of Fargo Public Schools education. We have implemented numerous precautions to prevent the spread of COVID-19 and increase overall health. These precautions include additional cleanings, the use of electrostatic machines, new air systems, and UV light water systems. Additionally, all staff members have the opportunity to be fitted with N95 masks and have access to face shields for their protection. I would now like to turn our attention to the Fargo Public Schools 2019-2020 Annual Report.
Here are some of the key data points for Fargo Public Schools this year. FPS has more than 11,000 students enrolled in our 23 buildings and in our virtual academies. In the elementary virtual academy alone, we are educating 734 students, which makes it our largest elementary school. The middle school virtual academy has 442 students enrolled, and the high school virtual academy has 322 students. This year's overall enrollment shows a drop. This is likely due to a lack of incoming kindergartners who are delaying the start of their public education due to COVID-19. Enrollment projections show a rebound for the 2021-2022 school year. Additionally, future growth rates in our district will likely increase upon completion of the FM diversion. Fargo Public Schools has a rich diversity among our student population. 88 languages are spoken in our schools. Fargo Public Schools is an integral part of our community, serving as the fourth largest employer in the metro with 3,339 employees. Among our staff, 68% of our teachers hold a master's degree. FPS has an overall operating budget of nearly $180 million. Fargo Public Schools is committed to advocating at the local, state, and federal levels on behalf of the district and overall pre-K through 12th grade education. 2021 is a legislative year in North Dakota, and Fargo Public Schools' legislative priorities for the year identify two overarching categories: behavioral health and underfunded programs, including special education and English learner programs. For more information and data about the Fargo Public Schools, view our annual report available on our website, fargo.k12.nd.us. Now we turn our attention to the focus group portion of our evening. This year, we want to hear from our community about our school calendar and schedule. These interviews will provide you with insight about inclement weather day scenarios and potential changes to instructional time.
The traditional options for snow days really have always been either to cancel school and make up those days. Last legislative session, that gave schools the opportunity to potentially also waive some days if schools exceeded the amount of hours that were required. This year's been a little bit different. Because of a governor's executive order, we're also able to provide distance learning and count that towards instructional time.
When we talk snow days, obviously with everything that's going on, it does allow us to look at things a little bit differently. One of the things that we've learned in this pandemic is the traditional way that we've solved problems sometimes is the best and most efficient way. Other times it's we need to look at things a little differently, which in this situation we're talking about snow days and how does that look over the course of allowing us to leverage some of our learning from this pandemic.
I think one of the challenges always though, and everyone would say this, is time and the calendar, right? It's always helpful when we can have more flexibility in those calendars. Our virtual academy teachers have proven that we really can provide wonderful instruction from a virtual setting.
Certainly we want kids face-to-face, we want kids in school, but learning can also happen in different ways, and it can happen from a distance. So it wouldn't be something we would necessarily want every day, but periodically learning really can be successful from a distance.
One of the things that we're willing to do and look at because of the change in legislation in 2019 is, can we explore the option to have an early release or a late start once a month? What this would allow us to do is it would allow all the educators to have more chances for collaboration and to plan for student intervention.
To be able to say, okay, well, of the students we have in front of us right now, how many of them are on track to do that? How many of them are ahead? How many of them are falling behind, and what do we do about it? Our goal is to get all students to achieve the outcomes that are expected, and in order to do that, it takes a village, right? It takes a team, and I think that's really what we see on those collaborative teams.
It's critically important. You know, being an old coach, I know they understand the importance of teams. Being a former math teacher, knowing specifically the importance that teams need to develop. I mean, those that are in the public sector can understand the importance of building a healthy team. And we in education can't work in isolation. We need to work together.
In order for teachers to be the reading specialists, the math specialists, the writing experts, the scientists that they need to be, they really need opportunities for continuous learning all throughout the year.
One of the things that I would say to ease the concerns of any parents or teachers about reducing student contact day is we can't look at it holistically about just a reduction in student contact or not. We have to look at it of why. And I wouldn't say that we're reducing student contact to stop learning. I think that we're providing more learning opportunities by giving teachers the time to better plan targeted interventions or extensions for all of their students. We understand that the decisions that we make and changes in schedules have a significant impact on our families and our students. So we really value collecting the feedback from this public focus group.
I believe that even if we are losing a little bit of student contact time, the time that we will gain by working smarter together will compensate for that.
We hope this information helps you see the additional benefits for staff and students. Before we break into focus groups, we would like to highlight the hard work and talents of some of our students. Please enjoy this performance of More Than Enough by Susan LaBar, performed by the South High School Choir. From all of us in Fargo Public Schools, thank you for watching our State of the Schools address and your participation in our focus groups. We look forward to your input.